The Trump tax return case gives the Supreme Court a once-in-a-generation chance to unite the country. In the last few decades, the Supreme Court has lost its non-partisan reputation for the good of the country, and the court, the justices, should issue a unanimous decision about President Donald Trump tax returns. Michael Gordon is a longtime Democratic strategist, a former spokesperson for the Justice Department, and the principal for the strategic communication firm Group Gordon. Like so much in our politics today, the Supreme Court has lost its halo, shattered in the image of justices sitting and serving to deliver impartial justice. At his confirmation hearing, Brett Kavanaugh was the perfect metaphor for the court in our times, splitting the country with his ranting and his rhetoric. Our current political polarization began with the fall of the Fairness Doctrine and the subsequent rise of conservative radio, New T, Gingrich, and cable news. As the division grew, the Supreme Court entered the fray with Bush versus Gore, the 5-4 decision installing a president with political non-judicial judicial on both sides of the aisle. In the wake of Bush versus Gore came Citizens United and Hobby Lobby, both 5-4 decisions that were more about political leaning than legal precedent. To be fair, there were 5-4 decisions that were historic in a positive way. Gay marriage and Obamacare, for example, these decisions were at least minimally bipartisan. Now, with the release of Trump's taxes before them, the the Supreme Court has a chance to speak clearly and unequivocally if it can bring the historic movement in its rearview to the fore again. The power of unanimity. Some of the most consequential decisions in Supreme Court.
Unanimity. Unanimity.
Unanimity. Unanimity. The most consequential decisions. Unanimity.
Unanimity.
Consensus. Unanimity. Some of the most consequential decisions in Supreme Court history were unanimous. Chief Justice Earl Warren knew the import of Brown versus Board of Education and thought the stamp of a unanimous decision would put the issue to bed, not only judicially but in the court of public opinion. Similarly, United States with Nixon, which compelled President Nixon to turn over his White House recording and effectively led to his resignation. Little more than a fortnight later was a unanimous decision. Three justices appointed by Nixon put the public interest first. In both cases, the power of a court ruling unanimously and without partisanship helped cement a piece of U.S. history. A rare opportunity for with Trump's taxes. That leads us to this lawsuit over the release of President Trump's taxes. A unanimous decision on a hot-button political topic has been out of fashion for at least a generation, even with U.S. versus Nixon and Clinton versus Jones as at least moral, if not legal precedents. A split decision on the president's taxes would not be surprising with the level of norm breaking today. Now, it is true that since 2000, plurality of Supreme Court cases have been unanimous, but the unanimous decisions tend to be of less import to our parties and politics and the issue driving the partisan divide. Trump has flouted many norms, but the question over his taxes has become a sort of touchstone. He has promised to release them and so many times that it would be a bigger surprise if he wasn't hiding something, whether it is foreign business ties, stretching of the tax laws, poor business judgment, or some combination. It is important that the American public see his returns. In these polarizing times, Chief Justice Roberts has called for more consensus and less politicization of the court, but there would be no more striking example of the independence and integrity of the court than a unanimous decision here. Given Trump's hold on the GOP, even if the Trump's present taxes are turned over, we will learn something interesting about the president, but like everything else, there will be zero political impact, and even with the Supreme Court stamp, I wouldn't surprise if Trump finds another end around given his success in rewriting rules without consequences. With that said, I almost don't care what decision the Supreme Court reaches as long as all nine are unified. If a group of diverse justices can find a way to reach true consensus on an issue central to our governance, it will shine the first light during a dark period for the rule of law.